Welcome to Driven to Excel, a four-part series on mentoring presented by the NAFA Fleet Management Association. I'm your presenter, Cecilia Sepp. Today, we're in episode 2, the NAFA Mentor Match program. And what we're going to discuss today is, what is the Mentor Match program? Where do I find information about it? How do I enroll? And what do I get out of it? To find the Mentor Match program, you only need to go to the NAFA.org website and sign into your member account. Once you sign into your member account, go to the Communities homepage. You'll see in the menu across the top of the Communities homepage, the Mentor program. If you press this link, that will take you to the homepage for the Mentor Match program. The Mentor program is here where it says engage in mentoring. I think that's a great word to use for mentoring because the best relationships are the ones that we are fully engaged in. And we get the most out of membership in any association we belong to by engaging. So by engaging in the mentoring program, known as Mentor Match, you can get more out of your membership, you can help other people in the profession, and you can send forward into the future all of the learning you have collected throughout your career. On the home page, we can see there are 4 steps to participating in the Mentor Match program. 1, you just need to start. And how do you start? You set up your mentor profile or your mentee profile. 2, after you set up your profile, you then enroll in the program. That is the second step because just setting up a profile doesn't necessarily get you into the program. Step 3 is search. That's where you can go in and look for a mentor or look for a mentee. And you do that using the Mentor Program Directory, which we'll review in a few minutes. And step 4 is connect. That's the most important step. Once you set up your profile, enroll in the program, and start searching for a mentor or a mentee, the most important thing is to actually connect with someone. By connecting with someone, you can build that mentoring relationship and you can decide how long that relationship will last, what are the questions you'll explore together, or the topic areas, and how often you're going to meet. We see here on the home page, there are 3 tabs. One says Profile, which is our 4 steps that we just reviewed. And then we have our mentor profile, which looks like this. This is my mentor profile. Now, as a presenter of the webinar series, I'm not actually a full member of the NAFA Fleet Management Association. So this is just an example file, which is why my status says not participating. But I did fill in a few of the fields so you can see what it might look like. Currently, I have no mentees. I said I'd be willing to mentor 2 people, and then I noted that I was available to start this month and through the summer. I could also add some information about myself, add a short bio, maybe something about my career or some of my other interests. And then I selected a few mentoring topics just to show what that might look like. I also can look at my mentor relationships, and it says I currently have 0. Now, if I were enrolled as a mentor, I could click this button to find a mentee. If you click on Find a Mentee, it takes you to the mentee directory. And this is where, as a mentor, you can find a mentee. We're in this tab, Find a Mentee. You can search on any of these topics by just clicking on them. You could also search for someone's name or company or email address, which is very handy if you've met somebody at a conference. You can say, oh, that was an interesting person. I'm going to see if they've signed up in the Mentor Match program. And then you can search using that. You can also search by city. And that's helpful too, because if you don't want to have a virtual mentoring relationship and you really want that in-person experience, it's going to be important to be able to find someone in your city or your state that you could meet with in person on a regular basis. Once I had checked all of these things, I would just click Find Mentees, and that would bring up a list of people who match my search criteria. If we click on Find a Mentor within the mentor directory, It works exactly the same way. So if you're a mentee searching for a mentor, you can just select any of the values. You can search by topic, name. Let's say you met somebody you'd like to learn more from. You could just type their name in and see if they've signed up. And again, if you're looking for somebody to meet with in person, using location would be a very important search criteria. You can use all of these search criteria or just one of them. You don't need to fill them all out. The important thing is to start your search. Now, once I've selected all of my search criteria, I would then just select Find Mentors, and that would bring somebody up. So let's say I'm looking for somebody to mentor me in corporate fleets. I would click that and say Find Mentors, and it brings up a list of people. It's that easy. I would then select Send Message, and by doing that, it would open a message box, and I could write this mentor and say, I'm interested in connecting with you and talking more about the mentoring program. And it all works from within the system of the communities page. Let's go back to our home page for the mentor program. That's how you set up your profile, and that is how you can search for people. But let's look at the frequently asked questions page, also known as FAQs. This has questions that most people have at the beginning of joining a mentoring program. We have some general questions like, what is mentor matching? Is there a fee associated with using mentor matching? No, there is not. The Mentor Match program is part of your NAFA membership, so there's no additional fees for this. It's built into your membership as a benefit. And what's most important about the Mentor Match program is not only is it a member benefit, but it directly supports the NAFA mission, core values, and strategic goals. How are mentors and mentees matched? This is very important. This is driven by the individual. You need to proactively go in and conduct a search and ask people if they'd like to connect with you. So you need to take that extra step of not just filling out the profile, but actually looking and seeing people that you might want to connect with. We have questions for mentors, like how do I become a mentor? Who are the mentees? These are all members. Only members of NAFA can be in the Mentor Match program, whether you're a mentor or a mentee. This tells you how to search for mentees. How will you know if a mentee has asked you to be their mentor? You'll get an email. You'll be asked if you want to accept or reject the request. It is okay to reject a request, but we highly recommend you have a conversation with someone before you say no. The great thing about that is you can have a conversation with someone, and maybe you're not just the right fit to be their mentor, but you'll make a new connection within your community, and you can still be connected in your network, even if you don't enter a mentoring relationship. If you're going to be away for a while, but you still want to sign up for the program, just go in and edit your profile to show when you're available. We'll look at that page again in a minute. How do you end a mentoring relationship? You go to your My Mentoring Relationships page and mark the relationship as completed. Expectations, just make sure that you fulfill your commitment to at least one mentoring relationship. And please make sure that you have fulfilled the agreement that you make with your mentee. For mentees, you become a mentee by enrolling and searching for a mentor and connecting with someone. There's no limit to the number of mentoring relationships you can establish, but make sure that you don't establish more relationships than you can actually manage. 2 mentors in a formal relationship is a good number, and 2 mentees for a mentor is also a good number, because you want to make sure you have time to really commit to the relationship and make sure everybody gets something out of it. You don't want to overextend yourself in mentoring any more than you would any other voluntary activity. Where can you meet with your mentor? That can happen in a lot of ways. You can talk on the telephone, you could do virtual conferencing, you can connect in person at conferences, or you can do email. There's a variety of ways now in the age of technology to connect with people, but what's important is that you make sure you show up when you set a meeting. And what's important is to make sure to have real-time conversations as often as possible. We recommend that mentoring relationships last about 12 months and that you talk at least 1 hour a month. You can also check in with each other every 3 months and say, is this relationship still working? If it is, great, keep it going. If not, it's okay to end it by mutual agreement. Also, you may realize you're no longer quite the right mentor for that person, and letting them know that is really helpful to them. That doesn't mean you have to stop being in a relationship with them professionally, but you might just want to find them someone to help them with whatever it is they need to move on in their career. You can still continue to mentor them informally, and of course, if you become friends, that's an added benefit of being a mentor. Let's go back to the mentor homepage. And let's look at enroll as a mentor. This is the page where you can update your profile so that people can see what you'd like to help people with and when you're available. So using my example again, I selected these 5 areas, and if I wanted to edit those, I can just hit the edit button. Mentor status is when you're available. You can set it to an end date. So for example, you could start on June 22nd and end August 31st, and that's when you'd be available. If you don't have an end date, you can just leave it blank, but say when you can start being available to create mentoring relationships. If you are participating in the program, you can just leave this box alone. This is where maximum mentees, this is where you can add how many people you would like to mentor at a time. 0 indicates unlimited. We highly recommend not more than 2 at a time. You can mentor as many people as you'd like or have as many mentors as you like. But again, make sure that you're not overextending yourself. So once you update all of these, you'd want to hit save if you've made any changes. And then you can again view your mentor profile to make sure that your changes are showing up the way you'd like them to. So these are all of the details of what I have set up. My status is currently not participating, as noted previously. And if I wanted to look at my contributions, this tab is related to all of your volunteer activities here at NAFA, not just the Mentor Match program, so you can see your achievements and list of contributions. My account, that's where you can, again, set your privacy settings, your email preferences, any feeds, notifications, and you can update your discussion signature. Your inbox will show you any messages that you've received. So any sent items, contact requests, or community invitations. And again, going back to your profile, you can update that. So again, the mentor program is part of the community's service that you get with your membership. And so it's tied to your member directory profile. Let's go back to the mentor program homepage. And let's look at your mentoring relationships. This link is where you can find any suggestions that you may have for connections, your mentor relationships, your mentee relationships, because again, you can be both a mentor and a mentee, so keep that in mind. If you receive any mentoring requests, they'll be shown here. And this is where you can manage and track your mentoring relationships. So you can show your active relationships, your completed relationships, any declined or abandoned relationships. They will be saved in the system so you can go back and review them. So if you decline a relationship and then you change your mind, you can come back and review that. Abandoned relationships are ones that started, but maybe they just didn't quite get to the finish line. So you can track those as well because maybe you'd like to pick up again with that person in the future. And this button will take me to find a mentor or a mentee, which will take me back to our mentor directory, which again, you can look for a mentor or a mentee by clicking the appropriate tab. Make sure you get your search criteria set up the way you like, and then find. That's our overview of the Mentor Match service through the communities page at NAFA.org. And remember, this is part of your membership. It's a benefit and there's no additional fees involved. It's a members-only benefit for members of the NAFA Fleet Management Association. That's our overview of the NAFA Mentor Match program. To learn more about the Mentor Match program, you can contact Chris Goyette, Senior Manager, Chapter, Industry, and Community Relations by email cgoyette@nafa.org or pick up the phone and give her a call, 609-986-1047. Thanks for joining us for episode 2 of the NAFA Driven to Excel Mentoring Program Series. I'm your presenter, Cecilia Sepp.